Welcome back to Movement and Telisa for day 10 of our 30-day strength and flexibility yoga challenge. Today we are working on legs again with more of a focus on hips and glutes. We'll be doing some hip mobility as a warm-up and then doing some leg and glute strength focused movements before finishing off with some deeper stretches. We're going to get started in tabletop. And we're going to do, we did this the other leg day, I think just 2 days ago, if I'm remembering correctly. But we're picking up the left leg, bringing the pointed toe up towards the ceiling as much as we can. And then with the knee, we're making as big of a circle as possible, trying to get the left knee to the left elbow. Bring both knees kind of close together before coming back to our starting point. Open up through the hip, big circle. So you might have noticed by now that we are repeating some of the movements. Repetition is good because it gives us that opportunity to really fine tune it and build that muscle memory so that when we come back and do it again, our bodies know what to do when we come back and revisit it. If we're constantly learning new things, that's really great. Let's reverse the direction of the circles. Now bring knee towards chest and then elbow and all the way around. So it's great to learn new things, but there is a beauty in repetition because when we do something over and over again, that's when we start getting really good at it. And I find especially in yoga, since yoga is really meant to be a moving meditation, if you're constantly learning new things, you're focused on making sure that you're doing it right, and your mind's really active. Whereas if you know the sequence, if you know all the movements, your brain doesn't have to work so much. You can actually get more into that meditative flow state. So let's settle that knee down, do the other side. And that's why I like doing some of the same things over and over. We do a mix, we learn new things, but we also do a lot of the same thing. But we also do a lot of the same moves so that we can really learn them. Keep going on this side. If your hip pops, that's okay, and just maybe notice it. Make sure there's no pain. My hip pops, but it doesn't necessarily hurt, and that's what we want to make sure of. Reverse direction, so knee in towards chest now, and then open it up all the way around. Visualize the biggest circle possible with the knee. Couple more rounds. I really feel this one in the glutes, the working leg and the stabilizing leg. We'll make this the last one. And lower it down. Tuck the toes and walk yourself back with the hands, bringing the feet about mat to distance apart, sitting the bum down as low as you can for malasana. Always the option to grab a block or a pillow, cushion, bolster, whatever you might have to sit the bum onto for support if you need. Hands can be down supporting you as well. Opening up into the hips a little bit. You can find some movement and shift side to side. Walk your hands in front of you and step the left foot forward, right foot back. Swivel so your toes are pointing towards the long edge of the mat and lower the hips down. And now push all the way up, using your hand to help you come all the way up. So we're kind of in this cross-legged position. And bring your hand down to your foot and straighten through the leg so your hand comes to the knee. Bend till your hand comes to your foot, straighten hand to knee. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Plant the right hand down, lower the hips down again. And now we're just going to lift and lower. That's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the hip all the way down. and then slide your right knee so it's underneath the left knee, coming into cow face pose. Focusing just on the legs here. Find a moment of stillness. And you can gently sway side to side. It just gets into the sides of the hips a little bit more. And now a little transition challenge. Plant the feet, so the feet aren't going to move where they are. They'll swivel, but they won't move. With the left leg on top, reach around towards the right. Swivel the feet, but you can see my feet aren't moving where they are on the mat. And then when we come to sit down, we've now got the right leg on top. Readjust the feet as you need. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side, but just starting with cow face. Finding stillness if that's enough for you, or these gentle rocks left and right, working into the hips a little bit more. Leaning towards the back of the mat, we're going to plant the right foot down, toes are pointing towards the long edge of the mat, and then extend through the bottom left leg. Kind of reversing the order of movements that we did. So now we're starting with this hip lift and lower. We'll call that 4, 3, 2, 1. Settle into it. And then push through the hand to come all the way up to standing. Bring your left hand to your right foot and then straighten up. So hand comes to knee, bend lower hand to foot and straighten. We're gonna go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Plant the left hand down, lower the hip. And then swivel around, pop the left foot forward, coming into our malasana. Again, finding stillness or swaying side to side. Finding your way all the way onto your bum by whatever means necessary. Remember, we're at home and we don't have to worry about anything looking pretty. A little bit more hip mobility here. We're gonna start with different levels. You can stay with the first one if that feels like enough for you, or you can try different options with me as we get to them. So 90-90 position means we're making 90-degree angle roughly with both legs. Bring the hands behind you and then switch the knees over to the other side. Back and forth. If you need to move a little bit slower, you are more than welcome to. This is your own practice. If that felt good and you want to try something a little bit more, take your hands out of the equation. And then switching our knees over from one side to the other. My butt kind of shifts where it is on the mat, so I find I slowly start working more and more forward. So if you need to slide your feet as you do this, don't worry. You can see I'm coming all the way, so maybe work your way all the way to the top of your mat. And then we'll stop there. Sit further back on the mat, and we'll extend the left leg out to the side. Right foot is planted, right knee is pointed up. Hands can be behind you, and we're going to lower the right knee down as far as it'll go and lift it up. Lower it down and lift. 3, 4, 5. Keep it here. Bring your foot so it's more on the outside of the foot. Fold forward and come back. Hands behind you. Come forward and back. We're not trying to come to our depth right now. Forward and back. Come back to a neutral seated position. Plant the sole of the right foot down. And we're going to shift to the other side using our hands. So skandasana on that side, shifting over to the other side and sitting down on our bum. Hands can be behind. Lower the knee down and up. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the knee down. Pull the left foot in a little bit closer. Square ourselves up over the legs. Fold forward. Hands behind. Lean back. Forward. And back. Forward. And then back. Sit upright. And shift and twist. Plant the sole of the left foot. Bring your weight forward using your hands. And then shifting side to side for our skandasana. If coming all the way down is not accessible, you can come into more of a lunge and come through an upright position. And eventually work our way down lower and lower. Still coming upright in between. That can be really taxing on the legs as well. And then when you get there, keeping the hips low between the sides. Come to sit down on the bum. Swing the left leg to reach to meet the right. That's what I was trying to say. And plant the hands behind you. Both soles of the feet are in contact with the mat. Coming into our glute and leg strengthening. Pushing through the hands and the feet. Lift the hips all the way up. Remembering not to hyperextend at the top here. We want a relatively straight line. Maybe the hips are a little bit lower than the knees and the shoulders. Lower down about 2/3 of the way. Lift using the glutes. Imagine you're moving through molasses. So you've got that resistance on the way up and down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the bum all the way down. Lower down to one elbow and then the other all the way down on our back. A couple of options here. We'll start with this one, both feet planted. Lift the hips and lower. 10, 9, 8. We're still moving through molasses. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you feel that too much in your quads, your feet might be too close to you. The closer your feet are to you, the more you'll feel it in your quads. More of a 90-degree angle, doing the best that you can without actually being able to see on the side. You'll work more into the glutes. And if you still feel it in the quads when you think you're at a 90, just overcorrect and bring your feet even more forward. This will bring it a little more into the hamstrings, but it will really take it out of the quads. We want this in the back line of the body, not in the front. So that's option one. We're gonna do another round of it. You can stick with that, both feet down, or you can try one leg. We'll do 5 on each side. So I'm crossing my left leg on top to start. You can push down through the elbows. Remember your foot placement, and here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch sides. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower all the way down. Roll over onto your left hip for our clam shells. We're on the left forearm. Cross the right foot on top of the left. Lifting the hips all the way up, knees apart. Lower the hip, not all the way down to the mat, and knees don't quite touch. Lift, lower, lift, lower. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Roll over to the other side. Get set up. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower all the way down. Come back to our reverse. Doing that entire sequence again. So lift the hips. Remember not to overextend through the hips. Lower down. 10, 9. Move through molasses. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the hips all the way down. Lower one elbow at a time to come all the way down on our back. Starting with both soles of the feet planted. Lift and lower. And remember, walk the feet out a little bit more away, a little bit further away from the bum if you felt it in the tops of your legs. We want to feel this in the back. Lower down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a little break. You could do a second round of that, or if you want to do 5 on each side, doing the one-legged option. Cross left leg on top first. Everyone gets up, set up, going for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch out sides. I'm sorry, they insist on doing this every time I start filming. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down, roll onto the left hip for our clam shells. Lift up, let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower all the way down. Switch to the other side, get set up. And we begin. 10, 9, 8. We're still moving through molasses. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the hips all the way down. And we're going to meet in a downward facing dog. You can pedal out the legs. Do your generous double knee bend, the side body stretches, whatever you want here. Find a moment of stillness. And pull yourself forward into a plank, left knee in towards the chest, step the left foot forward, and heel toe it out to the outside of the mat. Lower the back knee down and tuck the back toe. And then you can come onto the knife edge of this front foot. Here we are for lizard pose. And working into the hips. Everyone's starting here, staying here. And then if you want some more, you can lower down to the forearms. And remember, if you try something and it doesn't work, if you find you start panicking here or holding your breath, just come back out of it. Maybe you just bend the elbows and don't quite come all the way down. But we don't want to force ourselves for our ego's sake to come to a depth that we're not actually ready for. So it's good to experiment, but it's also good to recognize our limits. Wherever you are, deep, steady breath. And come back to the hands. If you lower down, heel to the foot back to the center, and lower down onto the shin for pigeon. Look back behind you. Make sure that leg is straight behind you. The ankle is not sickling. Option to stay right here. If you want some more, roll onto the outside of this left hip as you swing the right leg in front of you. Set the sole of the foot down. The shin of this left leg is going to nuzzle in as we shift forward. You can use your hands. Maybe you've got blocks here. And then we come into a low lunge. We want the knee to go beyond the toe. The left leg is now straight behind us. Coming out of it, we now angle the left shin as we sit back and swing the left leg behind us, finding ourselves back in pigeon. We're going to do a few rounds of that. If you just want to stay in pigeon, you can come up into that lunge and just shift back and forth. Maybe you just swing the leg behind you. Again, there are so many options. You can do anything you want here. Maybe it's something I haven't even recommended that feels good for you. But if you're following along, circle the right leg in front. Shift forward, coming into our low lunge. Angle that shin as we circle the right leg back behind for pigeon. We'll do 2 more of these, or whatever you may be doing. And pull the hips back, circle the leg around, pigeon. Last round. We'll stay in pigeon on this side. You can heel toe the right foot forward so the shin is more parallel with the mat, or keep it on more of an angle, personal preference. With the left leg forward, pull the left hip back as you pull the right hip forward a little bit more, squaring up through the hips. You'll feel more of a sensation through the hips. Walk your hands over to the left, lower the chest down. Come back up through center. Frame the front knee, tuck the back toe, lift everything up, step the left foot back as we pull the hips back. Downward facing dog, 2 rounds of breath. Pull forward into a plank, right knee in towards the chest, step the right foot through, heel toe to the outside of the mat. Both hands are on the inside of the right foot. Lower the back knee down and tuck the foot. And then coming on to the knife edge of the right foot, letting the knee fall open. And getting settled into your lizard lunge. Option to lower down onto the elbows. Maybe you just bend the elbows. Wherever you go, just make sure you can breathe through it. Coming back up onto the hands. If you would lower down, heel toe the right foot in. And then we're just coming into our pigeon pose. Maybe using the hands to get there. But by any means necessary. Get set up, look behind you. Back leg is straight behind. Option to stay right here or do something that appeals to you, that feels good for you in this moment. Or circling the left leg around all the way in front, shift on the right shin as you pull forward into this deep low lunge. Pull all the way back and sit the bum down, circle the leg all the way around, back into our pigeon. Again, second round. Pulling back. This is 3. And back to our pigeon. Last round. Coming back to our pigeon. Option to keep the shin where it is, maybe heel toe the foot forward more. With the right leg forward, we're going to pull the right hip back, left hip forward, squaring up through the hips. Walking hands over to the right, lowering down. Coming up through center. Frame the front knee, lift everything up. Step back, downward facing dog, 2 rounds of breath. Lower down to the knees. We're going to get set up for frog pose. I'm going to turn my mat to the side. I'm going to fold up both edges of my mat. I do 2 folds, and that usually works for distance for me. Placing the knees on that added cushion. You want ankles in line with the knees. Feet are flexed, so toes are pointing to the outside, away from you. Option to lower down on to the elbows. If the knees can splay a little bit further apart, then let them do so. And sit the hips back a little bit. Neutral neck, so gaze isn't up like this. Chin is slightly tucked, looking down between our arms. Getting comfortable. This is going to be a longer hold. Finding ease within the effort of this pose. Noticing what happens to the mind when you ask it to stay in one position for an extended period of time. And this can be an intense pose. It can be a lot for the body. But oftentimes, it's the discomfort of the mind that wants to give up first. Our bodies can sustain a lot. And so while it may look like we're training our bodies primarily, a lot of times it's our minds that we're training. Breathing slow and steady to help calm the mind down. acknowledging any rejections that might be coming from the noise within your mind. Not labeling them as good or bad, and just noticing them, but recognizing that we don't have to act on every thought. We don't need to run every time we feel a little bit of discomfort. Building up discipline when we ask our bodies and minds to do hard things. And just 3 more rounds of breath. And pull your hips forward slightly. Bring the toes together, push through the arms to slowly, gently bring the knees closer together, coming into a child's resting pose. Arms can be bent, forehead resting on the forearms. Relax your jaw. Slow your breath down even more. You're welcome to remain in your child's resting pose for as long as you please. I thank you most kindly for practicing with me today. I hope to see you again for day 11. In closing, we say, Namaste.